Well, it's fun this time of year having the lower, and being able to look at the Bosas of the world and those guys, but it's a lot more fun playing deep into the year. So you take the later pick, and we don't have as much equity as we've had in years past, and so we got to figure out a way. We got to be creative. We got to be exhaustive in all the avenues we look at to improve our football team, and we're committed to doing that. Extremely proud of Jimmy. I can't speak enough about what a great teammate he is. From day one when he entered our building, he made everyone else around him better, and I think he's continued to do that. And had his first full season as a starter in the NFL and ended up in the Super Bowl. And I know Jimmy feels the same way we all do. We left a little out there, and that's a shame. That's something we're going to have to deal with, really for the rest of our lives. But nobody knows that more than him. I'm incredibly proud, as is our entire organization, for the way he's handled himself and the way he's played, and for the way he's kind of led our team. Jimmy? I think we all have to take a hard look at the fourth quarter. I mean, we built this team to be finishers, and we fell short of that. We've all got to live with that. And, the nature of that position. It's probably going to get examined a little bit more. But I think we all have to own that, and I think the guys have done a great job of doing just that, not running from it. And the other side, you got to give the Chiefs a ton of credit. They went out and earned that game, and we fell short, and we got to live with that. We're extremely proud of Jimmy and committed to Jimmy moving forward. He's our guy. As I said, from the day he walked into our building, he made us better, and we continue to feel that's the case. And that's the most exciting thing about him is the room for growth. He's not come close to hitting a ceiling, and I think the room for growth, the more experience he gets in this system, the more experience he gets playing in general, we think the arrow's up, and that's a good thing.
John, how surprising was it after you got 3 in a row? Jerick McKinnon, tempo, all of a sudden it's Raheem Mostert. What did you see out of him, and what do you expect him to do in December?
Yeah, well, what a tremendous story. I mean, of a guy who's been released numerous times from numerous teams and kept the dream alive, kept himself in the league by being one of the better special teams players in football. But I give a lot of credit to our coaching staff for seeing more, and Kyle specifically for seeing more in Raheem. I think some of the things in the past that had kept him from the success that we saw this year, injuries and then ball security, and to his credit, and I think with the belief of our coaches with him and sticking with him, when he did put the ball on the ground or when he did get injured, we got to see the fruition of that belief this year. And Raheem exploded on the scene, and he earned that, and very proud of him, very happy for him. He made our team better.
John, to follow up on that, are you expecting much turnover in the running back room?
Yeah, we like our group a lot. It's obviously the one characteristic when you see in that group, you see a lot of speed, and you see a lot of guys with the right makeup. And, I would see, you can't ever speak because there are guys who, are at certain points where we have to make decisions. But we like that group a lot, and we'd like to keep as much continuity there as possible.
John, you talked about it being a little bit of a different field, picking so late in the draft.
Right.
Does it change how you approach either just staying in your pick or maybe even getting aggressive with different guys who could be bust players that you're trying to get high impact out of?
Yeah.
Picking later in the draft, how does that change?
Well, the ultimate goal, and I do think it gets a little more tricky, is how do you improve your team? And, we like where our team was this year. We got the right kind of guys. We're a very talented football team. But, if Coach Gruden, Kyle, they all subscribe to it. I've heard it so many times. You never stay the same. You're getting better, you're getting worse. And we're into getting better. And so it becomes trickier, with less draft equity and things of that nature. But we've got a lot of good players under, that are part of us moving forward as well. And so being creative in the draft and free agency, via trade, whatever, how do we find a way to get ourselves better? And that's what we're working each and every day to try to do. Well, we like our group. I think we like the core of our group. The draft class is incredibly strong. That's my fourth combine, and it's as good as I've ever seen. I mean, the depth of it, the top end players. It's a really good class, and you kind of get whatever flavor you like. If you like a smaller, quicker guy, those guys are there. If you like the big guys that can move, those guys are there. If you like speed, that's there. If you like separators, and so. I think the whole league's kind of smiling about that. We do, in fact, really like our group, and we feel like one way of looking at it is we've got some players coming back to us. Jalen Hurd, was a third-round pick. We never got to see him, and so he's got to show that he can do it. But we think he's got some talents. Dante Pettis is still a guy we have a lot of belief in, and it's incumbent upon him to have a tremendous off-season so that he sets himself up for success. And Trent Taylor was having a tremendous camp. So we see some guys who can add to what we've already had, and then who knows whether we add to it via the draft or any other avenue. Anybody else?
John, last one. Why are you guys more excited about the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah. Where? Yeah.
What are you guys feeling more excited about?
Well, I mean, I just spoke about, what I think is a really uniquely good class in the wide receiver group, but I think it's a strong draft in general. And, I think all the positions really, when you're here and you're doing your work, you look at everything. One class is particularly strong, and I think everyone shares that opinion. But we get excited about all these players.